Welcome back to Fabric School, the series where I, a textile technologist, tell you how fabrics are actually made. And I lately have been talking about knitted fabrics. Today, we're finally going into the third and last process on how to make knitted fabrics on an industrial scale. We already talked about flatbed knitting and circular bed knitting. In case you missed that, go catch up on that. But now we are talking about warp knitting. Warp knitting you use to make, for example, packaging for potatoes or onions. You use it for well-made tights. You use it for tulle. You use it for a bunch of different laces. It's a little more complicated than the other knitting processes, in my opinion. Here's how it works. You have a bunch of threads coming from the top, similarly as you do in weaving, and then you have all those threads fed through individual little needle heads. So these needles are coming from the top, they have their heads right at the bottom, and they are just there to give that thread to the actual needles doing the knitting. So you have the top bar and the bottom bar. I'm just going to refer to them as that. The top bar now moves around, so it kind of hooks the thread into the head of the needles in the bottom bar. Those needles have the old stitch on them, then they move down, pull the new stitch through. That is how stitches are created. Now, if it were to just always go around the same set of needles, you would just have long strings and nothing attaching these threads that are kind of parallel to each other together. So that is why the top bar moves quite a bit further. There is a bunch of different patterns that it can do, and usually you have more than just one bar and you have them moving in different directions.